Hey everybody, this is Neil's Nomenclature, and in today's video we are going to be looking at Lighthouse and how websites perform using a bunch of SEO or their SEO ranking and some other categories that kind of reflect on um, how accessible and easy to use a website is, along with how well it's running, how easy it is to run, how much information it's taking up. All right, so the website I used was my high school website because I actually hated my high school website. I'll actually show you college area high school. So I went to State High, which is in-state college, and my high school did not look like this. Warranted, it was the old one, but anyway, it's so clunky and it was so hard to use, and you have to. This is where we access all our information from, so I decided to use that. So let's just jump into the problems with it. So first off, I wanted to address the performance tab because it's terrible. It's at an 11. And I took a look at what was really causing the biggest problems, and eliminate render blocking resources came at number one, which which took up around 4 seconds. And I didn't know what eliminate render blocking resources was, but basically, when a user goes to the site, the web browser basically starts at the top of the site and codes down, so it's top to bottom. And if in that process it encounters a CSS or JavaScript file, it needs to stop reading while it downloads and processes that file. And in that time, it spends paused while it downloads all those files. So it takes up a lot of time. Like as you can see here, this takes up around 4 seconds, and I'm assuming it's because of this slideshow, which is incredibly outdated. Um, anyway, but yeah, I pulled up the web.dev resources that allow you to check on how to minimize all these things. But the most common way I've seen to or sorry to use to eliminate render blocking resources is to use an application that does it automatically. So what I read was that there was an app called WordPress. WordPress is a plugin which automatically helps eliminate those slow resources. So in our instance, that 4 seconds. Um, Another way is to use async and defer within your HTML. This just allows for either async, which is the page loads asynchronously, so everything loads at the same time, or it's split up using defer, where the HTML or the CSS are loaded separately, so that'll help. So the second problem we have is image proportion. And I selected this because I think the images they use are just incredibly large and obnoxious. So uh, in this instance, we're losing about 1.05 seconds in interactive time because there are two images taking up roughly, I'd say like 0.3, zero point 0.4 of a meg, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're loading a web page, it does. And one way I found to counter this was using responsive images. With these, you can generate multiple versions of each image and then specify which version to use in your HTML and CSS file. Along with this is image CDN, so I pulled up that over here. This is just, a content delivery network. So uh, this is just a way to automatically resize your pictures to make sure that they're not taking up more space than they need to be. So I also pulled up the web.2 here, or web.dev, sorry, they all sound the same. And so the last problem we have is within the best practices. I decided to switch up the category, and I saw that there was a links to cross origin destinations are unsafe. And I actually had a large problem with this in high school. And this is just because I had to click on links that I had to trust teachers on. So it was no like making my own choice. It was all on teachers. Um, from what I read, the best way to combat this is to add a no opener or no refer to the rel attribute within the link tags in your HTML. This will prevent a new page from being able to access the window opener property and ensures it runs in a separate process, so that everything is safe and secure within the website itself, and that any links that take you off of it, it'll either give you a prompt or it won't even allow